Gandhi of making unfounded allegations despite the absence of any formal objections. We have that reaction. Let's play it out.
Astonished Election Commission is sitting at the seat of justice. They should not react. They are in a position of giving justice to everyone, free and fair election. Rahul Gandhi is a responsible leader of the opposition with a big number of parliament backing. He can't speak like that. When he has spoken with evidences. He had made a research. My Karnataka team also has made a research. From the day one I have been working out on it. My research team has given to him. He had studied himself and then he has given. Whatever he has commented is right. So we'll place the facts again. We know that the Election Commission will just rub it. But still we want justice. We'll place it before the public. We'll fight out for it. We'll train our leaders in the future. But whatever the way the systematic election commission has done is wrong. Even in the assembly time, it has been noticed. But again, in the parliament, it has happened.
Getting you some updates coming in right now, viewers. These are pictures coming in as Kargil, Vijay, Diwas is being observed to commemorate India's historic victory in the Kargil war against Pakistan in 1999. These are pictures coming in from Dras, where we see that the 26th anniversary of this momentous occasion is being celebrated with a lot of fervor there on your screens, remembering the courage, sacrifice, and unwavering determination of our Indian armed forces who reclaimed India's territories from enemy forces in one of the most challenging high-altitude wars ever fought. All right, getting you these updates coming in right now. Beautiful celebrations there on Kargil, Vijay, Diwas, where we see the celebrations in taking many forms, viewers, where we see that it's marked by many ceremonies, patriotic events, and tributes to the martyred soldiers. Now, at the Kargil War Memorial in Dras, senior military officials, war veterans, citizens are all paying their respects through wreath-laying ceremonies and memorial events. Schools, colleges, and government institutions across the country to also observe the day with special assemblies, exhibitions, and awareness campaigns. And as India commemorates the 26th Kargil Vijay, Diwas Republic brings you an exclusive ground report from Dras, the very land where heroes have written history with their courage and sacrifice. From a major infrastructure push in the region to untold stories of bravery that never made the headlines, we bring you powerful voices and moving tributes to the real heroes of Kargil. Here's that special report.
Right now I'm reporting from Lamachan viewpoint, and from this very point one can see all those peaks where the Battle of Kargil was fought. This battle was fought between India and Pakistan, and the aim was to evict those intruders who were dominating these heights. I'll ask my Vijay Firdos to focus and show you through the panoramic view how the peaks look like. These are the peaks where the Battle of Kargil was fought, be it the Tolo Link or the other peaks, as the India has adopted a multi-pronged strategy approach to overcome the challenges of 1999 of Kargil War. Small, highly trained units conducted frontal and flanking attacks to dislodge the enemy from their fronted positions. Units like the Gorkha Rifles, Rajputana Rifle, Ladakh Scouts definitely played a pivotal roles. Bofors FH-77B howitzers were instrumental, delivering precise barrages to soften enemy's defense. Somewhere around 250,000 shells were fired during the campaign, one of the heaviest artillery battle that was witnessed here in this Kargil. When we talk about the peaks that were dominated by the Pakistani intruders, Pakistani army or the Pakistani terrorists, there we saw heroes like Captain Vikram Batra, who declared "Ye dil mange more" while capturing .4875. Similarly, Lieutenant Manoj Kumar Pandya, who led the charge at Jubar Top. That is the one, the Jubar Top, which my cameraman Firdos is focusing on, and the grenadier Yogendra Singh Yadav, who scaled these cliffs under enemy fire and became symbol of sacrifice.
And viewers, much coming right up. Republic launches mega campaigns to boycott India-Pakistan Asia Cup clash. Nation says terror and cricket cannot go hand in hand. And centre cracks down OTT soft porn in a major cleanup. Government bans 25 OTT websites. Stay tuned. We are live and breaking.
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला। MDH।
भारत के इतने लेजेंडरी एक्टर फिर से एक तरह से रिस्क क्यों ले रहे हैं?
ओशो की एक बड़ी अच्छी लाइन है
जी,
इफ यू ट्राई यू रिस्क फेलियर, इफ यू डोंट यू एंश्योर इट। मैं हमेशा मानता हूँ वो जीवन ही क्या जो संघर्षमय ना, संघर्षमय होने से ही तो अपने जिंदा होने का एहसास होता है।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
Republic launches mega campaign to boycott India-Pakistan Asia Cup clash. Nation says terror and cricket cannot go hand in hand. Centre cracks down on OTT soft porn in a major cleanup. Government bans 25 OTT websites. Big move by Election Commission of India. Poll watchdog announces pan-India special intensive revision exercise for electoral rolls. Sanjay Kapoor's mother questions circumstances of son's death, alleges coercion, seeks meeting deferment. Speaker Om Birla meets all party leaders, urges for smooth functioning of the parliament. And Prime Minister Modi receives a grand welcome in the Maldives, key bilaterals scheduled with President Muitsu. Eight children killed, 60 feared trapped after the roof of primary school in Jhalawar, Rajasthan collapses. Rescue operations underway. All right, let's go across to some breaking news coming in. Amid the border conflict between Thailand and Cambodia, the Indian embassy has now issued a statement. And it says that in view of the situation near the Thailand-Cambodia border, all Indian travellers to Thailand are advised to check updates from Thai official sources, including the TAT newsroom. As per Tourism Authority of Thailand, places mentioned are not recommended for travelling. That is the latest news break that we're tracking, viewers. Remember, this notice comes in the wake of heavy artillery firing that has been exchanged between the two countries over the last 1 week. And many civilians have been killed across both sides. And this dispute, this long-standing dispute between the two nations is over ancient Hindu shrines on the Thailand-Cambodia border. And both sides have exchanged gunfire, and Thailand's acting Prime Minister, in fact, has even gone on to warn Cambodia and said that this could essentially develop into a full-fledged war. Let's go across to my colleague Krutarth, who joins me live from the Republic Newsroom. Krutarth, tell us the details of what is the latest that you're picking up as far as this conflict is concerned, because it really shows no signs of dying down.
And there has been massive escalations, specifically in the last 24 hours, where Thai and Cambodian soldiers have clashed along the border. There has also been a landmine explosion in which 4 of the soldiers of Thailand have lost their lives. In fact, Thailand has withdrawn the ambassador to Cambodia and subsequently has expelled the Cambodian ambassador. That was the main straw that has now resulted in a massive concern in the international community that there can be a potential warlike situation, as the ambassadors of both the nations now have returned back to their respective nations. The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres is also monitoring the situation and has called for calmer heads to prevail in this situation. However, in this critical juncture, the Ministry of External Affairs has put out an official notice warning Indian citizens from travelling to these two nations as tensions continue to remain extremely high there.
All right, Kruta, thank you for giving us those very crucial details. Those are the visuals on your screen, viewers, as we track this live and breaking international story very, very closely for you. And for the moment, let's move on to more breaking news coming in. This one from the... All right, let's go back to my colleague Krutat as we bring you those visuals. You can see there's panic across Thailand as citizens are escaping. They seek shelter as the exchange of gunfire between Thailand and Cambodia escalates. The Indian embassy has now issued a notice to all its citizens in the countries, urging them to maintain caution and following the directives of the local authorities. Let's go back to my colleague Krutat. Krutat, has any statement been issued from Cambodia so far? Because the Thai acting Prime Minister has essentially gone on to completely blame Cambodia for what's unfolding at the border and saying that if they do not stop firing missiles at Thailand, this could escalate into a full-fledged war.
Indeed, and earlier this morning we had a word from Cambodia's chief official in the Odar Menchi province, General Kof Lee, who has said that the clashes at early morning resumed today near the ancient Tam Yun Thom temple. And this is what reports are also telling us, that there was sound of artillery also coming in from early morning today. So there has been a significant escalation in terms of vertical matrix, and now artillery also being heard fired across the border. Officials also say that 4 civilians were wounded in the Thursday's firefighting. Along with that, more than 4,000 people have been displaced from the border villages to evacuation centers, specifically on the Cambodian sides, where the first account of casualties is also being reported. So obviously civilian casualty also being mounted, specifically those are artillery shells also being fired in the provinces there along the border. There has been a continuous escalation across the border with various skirmishes. In fact, we also saw that Thai Prime Minister Shinawatra was also removed from her office subsequently after a conversation of her that went viral. It was a conversation with one of the senior leaders of Cambodia. Subsequently, for national security reasons, the Supreme Court of Thailand had ruled out that she had violated and breached ethics. So we know that Thai authorities are treating this as extremely serious. The Prime Minister has changed, as you rightly mentioned. The acting Prime Minister has given a statement that this could in fact boil into a big situation, because the acting Prime Minister yesterday in fact had expelled the Cambodian ambassador and withdrawn the ambassador of Thailand in Cambodia back to the nation, which shows that there is a complete breakdown of diplomatic communication between Thailand and Cambodia. It is a very rare instance where in Southeast Asia we see two nations getting into almost a full-blown conflict, but with diplomatic channels being broken down. The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has also given out a statement in which he has also said the following, that I request Cambodia and Thailand to exercise maximum restraint and address any issues through dialogue. Now, this was said through the UN Deputy Spokesman Farhan Haq, who represents Antonio Guterres. So these are some very big statements coming in as the diplomatic channels between the two nations have been broken down. The UN is attempting to intervene in order to bring in some sense into the dialogue matrix that can be triggered so that calmer heads can prevail, and the artillery firing and the clashes that have been resuming on the borders since this morning earlier also can be calmed down. But those are some dramatic visuals there, unlikely visuals coming in from Thailand and Cambodia as the border clash continues to escalate. The MEA has now put out a travel advisory.
Yep. All right, Kruta, thank you for giving us your perspective in the matter. Let's go across to more breaking news coming in now, viewers. This one from the national capital. Udaipur Files, the very, very controversial film which has been in the news so far, is set to be released on August 8th. And this is a source-based news that we're bringing you. And this development comes after the Supreme Court refused to extend the stay on the film in today's hearing and directed the petitioner to move the Delhi High Court, essentially challenging the order. That is the big legal update that we are getting you. Remember, viewers, Udaipur Files
the film that is based on the 2022 gruesome murder of Udaipur tailor Kanhaiya Lal has been making the headlines after opposition leaders and specifically the Jamiat group filed multiple petitions in the Supreme Court challenging the release of the film. They have argued that the film goes against the sentiments of minorities, and they have also gone on to specifically say that it portrays minorities in a demonic form, whereas the defense counsel has essentially argued for the release of the film, saying that the truth should be out. Now, the Supreme Court had previously allowed the government to go ahead with the examination. They had said that a central committee will examine the film and recommend changes, after which the central committee had recommended 6 cuts on 6 changes to be made to the film before its release. And now we're learning that the top court today, in a very crucial hearing, has directed the petitioners to approach the Delhi High Court. Let's go on to more breaking news coming in. The president's rule in Manipur is set to be extended for a further period of 6 months, effective from 13th of August this year. The statutory resolution given by Union Home Minister Amit Shah in this regard was admitted in the Rajya Sabha. The statutory resolution states that this House approves the continuation of the proclamation issued by the President on 13th of February in respect of Manipur under Article 356 of the Constitution for a period of 6 months with effect from 13th of August. And that is the big breaking news that we are getting in at the moment, that President's rule has been extended for a further period of 6 months in the state of Manipur. And this comes after Chief Minister Biren Singh's resignation earlier in February. Viewers had led to a lot of political upheaval, after which President's rule was imposed. And on that note, let's go across to our colleague Johnson, who joins me live from Manipur. Johnson, tell us more about this development and what sort of action can we expect from the MLAs in Manipur? Do we expect them to approach the central government with a proposal to fast-track the process of the formation of a new government in the state?
Yes, Ayona, this is a very major breaking in Manipur. Soon after the return of former Chief Minister with his meeting with Amit Shah in Delhi, he gave his resignation letter from his Chief Ministership on the 9th of February, while in his meeting with the governor. Just few days after his resignation from Chief Ministership, the Manipur is imposed president rule under suspended animation from the 13th of February itself. So during the first imposition of president rule, the people of Manipur and all the public has been expecting a very huge development, expecting expecting a very speedy. The people of Manipur has been expecting to bring peace and normalcy in the state in a very in a speedy way. But as a development, the security forces have done very huge major operations, recovering major arms and apprehension of officers from different cadres from both hills and the valley area. This is only the major development that could be witnessed during this president rule. This is not exactly as expected by the people of Manipur. The people of Manipur is expecting, even though there is president rule, and the rate of violence have been decreased. The people of Manipur is not getting their fulfill about the returnings of the IDPs, about returning of peace and normalcy. So during this mid hour, the people of Manipur is hoping for a popular government, for promotion of a new popular government. Within this also, the many local MLAs and many leadership of the ruling party, many legislators also have given the clear statement that a new popular government will be formed soon. This statement is given repeatedly by many of the local legislative leaders. But during the own contradictory to this statement given by many legislative leaders, yesterday there has been a notification that Manipur will be kept. The president rule that has been imposed from in Manipur from 13th of February is to be extended for a further of 6 months. This is beyond the expectation of the people, and also during in the past month, one legislature team of the current ruling BJP have also shown their willingness and readiness of formation of a new government. This imposition of extension or this new PR is beyond the expectation of the whole public, of the whole people of Manipur. So I hope the people of Manipur will be giving a pressure to their local MLAs, to their legislative leaders to form a government. So we have to wait what the reaction, what the people and what the CS of Manipur give the reaction regarding this extension of PR.
All right, Johnson, thank you so much for giving us those details as we track that story very, very closely. Now, viewers, let's move on to some visuals that's coming into our newsrooms at this moment. Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav has tweeted on the hydrogen train video. It's the first one-powered coach driving car tested at ICF in Chennai. Now, India is developing at least 1,200 HP hydrogen trains, which will place India among the leaders in hydrogen-powered train technology, the visuals of which are on your screen. This has been tweeted by Union Railways Minister Ashwini Vaishnav in a big boost to India's train technology.
Bharat 1 Minute brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
The Yamuna in Delhi is rising steadily, reaching 204.13 meters, just below the warning mark, as Haryana released over 54,000 cusecs of water from the Hathni Kund barrage. With flood risk looming, the Delhi government is seeking control of the ITO barrage. Authorities are on high alert and have deployed teams across low-lying areas. In a daring daylight robbery in Ghaziabad's Bridge Vihar, two men disguised as delivery boys stormed into a jewellery shop and looted gold and silver worth nearly 30 lakh rupees, all in just 6 minutes. CCTV footage showed the duo entering the jeweller's shop, threatening the staff at gunpoint and making off with 125 grams of gold and 20 kgs of silver. Jammu and Kashmir police have filed an FIR after a 16-year-old girl died following surgery at the Doda Government Medical College. She went into shock during recovery and was referred to another hospital called SKIMS, where she was declared dead. An investigation and post-mortem are underway to determine the cause of the death. And in some breaking news from down south, gold smuggling bid has been foiled at the Bengaluru airport, where 3.5 kgs of gold has been seized from a trolley. In a dramatic twist at Bengaluru's Kempegowda International Airport, at least 3 kgs of gold was seized and it was mysteriously appeared in a passenger's trolley. Now, sources have indicated that a smuggler who had arrived from Dubai allegedly placed a bag containing the gold biscuits into a co-passenger's luggage trolley to avoid customs scrutiny. The unsuspecting passenger noticed the unfamiliar bag when it fell off the trolley near the checking area. And when he was shocked, he immediately alerted the airport security. Customs officials recovered the gold worth several crore rupees and have launched an investigation into the matter. The CCTV footage of the case is being examined by the authorities to trace the smuggler, who is suspected to have escaped after planting the bag. The gold has been seized and further inquiry is underway. Let's go across to my colleague Smita. She joins me live from the Bengaluru newsroom. Smita, tell us more about this case. Has the smuggler been tracked? And what is it that the authorities are really looking into as far as the investigation is concerned at this point?
The custom officers in Kempegowda International Airport today have seized gold worth rupees 7 lakhs. That is nearly 3.5 kg of gold, which a passenger who was traveling from Dubai to Bangalore has handed over to the custom officer, and he said that that bag doesn't belong to him, but it was placed by someone in the trolley which had his luggage. Actually, the trolley of that passenger was stuck somewhere, and this bag, which didn't belong to him, fell down, and when he checked it, he was shocked to see 3.5 kgs of gold biscuits, which the viewer can see in the visuals and the photos which we are displaying now. Then he immediately informed the custom officers there, and they, after examining this, have seized this, and they are now the custom officers and the security in charges in the Kempegowda International Airport are trying to trace out the man who might have placed this bag carrying a huge amount of gold in a fellow passenger's trolley. Now CCTV footages of the airport, the lobby area, the lounge area have been tracked down, but as of now, till now, there is no trace of who could have been placed there. But the custom officers and the police down there are saying that it might be a passenger who might have traveled in the same flight as the one who handed over the gold back to the custom officers. He may be a fellow passenger. So now they are trying to even investigate the records of the persons who traveled in that flight from Dubai to Bangalore. CCTV footages are also being tracked, but yet no trace about how the bag came to the passenger's trolley and who placed it. Was it actually smuggled from Dubai? Now the information regarding this have yet to be investigated by the custom officers.
All right, Smita, thank you for that. For those inputs on this breaking story. Viewers, let's move on to more breaking news coming in from Odisha, where the vigilance raids in Jaipur Deputy Ranger has led to the recovery of at least 1.44 crore rupees cash, gold biscuits and coins. Now, in a major crackdown on alleged corruption, the Odisha Vigilance have unearthed a massive cache of unaccounted wealth during raids on the properties of Ramachandra Nepak, who is the Deputy Ranger in charge Ranger of the Jaipur Forest Rangers in the Koraput district. The visuals are on your screen. You can see the piles of cash that have been recovered by the Odisha Vigilance team. And during their searches, we're also learning that 4 gold biscuits and 16 gold coins were recovered and seized from Nepak's properties. These raids, we're learning, viewers, were launched based on allegations of possession of disproportionate assets to a known source of income. Now, as India commemorates the 26th Kargil Vijay Diwas, Republic brings you an exclusive ground report from Dras, the very land where heroes wrote history with their courage and sacrifice. From a major infrastructure push in the region to untold stories of bravery that never made the headlines, we bring you powerful voices and moving tributes to the real heroes of Kargil.
Right now I'm reporting from Lamachan viewpoint, and from this very point one can see all those peaks where the Battle of Kargil was fought. This battle was fought between India and Pakistan, and the aim was to evict those intruders who were dominating these heights. I'll ask my Vijay Firdos to focus and show you through the panoramic view how the peaks look like. These are the peaks where the Battle of Kargil was fought, be it the Tolo Link or the other peaks, as the India has adopted a multi-pronged strategy approach to overcome the challenges of 1999 of Kargil War. Small, highly trained units conducted frontal and flanking attacks to dislodge the enemy from their fronted positions. Units like the Gorkha Rifles, Rajputana Rifle, Ladakh Scouts definitely played a pivotal roles. Bofors FH-77B howitzers were instrumental, delivering precise barrages to soften enemy's defense. Somewhere around 250,000 shells were fired during the campaign, one of the heaviest artillery battle that was witnessed here in this Kargil. When we talk about the peaks that were dominated by the Pakistani intruders, Pakistani army or the Pakistani terrorists, there we saw heroes like Captain Vikram Batra, who declared "Ye dil mange more" while capturing .4875. Similarly, Lieutenant Manoj Kumar Pandya, who led the charge at Jubar Top. That is the one, the Jubar Top, which my cameraman Firdos is focusing on, and a grenadier Yogendra Singh Yadav, who scaled these cliffs under enemy fire and became symbol of sacrifice.
And now on to news that has been dominating the debates this Parliament session. Several MPs of the Indie bloc parties protested in Parliament House complex against the Election Commission's voter roll revision in Bihar and demanded its rollback, as well as a discussion on the issue in both the houses. Ahead of the start of the day's proceedings, top leaders and MPs of the opposition, including those of the Congress, DMK, TMC, Samajwadi Party, JMM, RJD and left parties assembled outside the Makardwar of Parliament for a fifth consecutive day to protest against the ECI's exercise in Bihar. My colleague Harsha brings you this report. All right, before we go across to that report, let's bring you those visuals that you see on your screens. These are members of the opposition parties. They're protesting for a fifth consecutive day outside the Makardwar in Parliament. Parallelly, we have also been bringing you visuals of protests at the Bihar Assembly. And the opposition leaders have united in one voice, protesting against the ECI's move to conduct a special intensive revision exercise in Bihar, essentially claiming that this drill goes against democratic norms and against the rules of democratic elections. And we slip into a very short break, but on the other side, Republic has launched a mega campaign to boycott the India-Pakistan Asia Cup clash. The nation says terror and cricket can never go hand in hand. And also, we'll get you the details of the centre's mega crackdown on OTT soft porn. In a major cleanup, the government has banned at least 25 OTT websites. Stay tuned to Republic TV as we get you more on that.
इतनी रिस्क लेने की क्या जरूरत है? Why don't you play safe, Anupam Kher?
I would have not reached here if I had played safe. I would have not survived in this profession if I had played safe. I did not play safe in my first film. That's the way my life is. What is the idea of walking on a path which is not full of ditches, speed breakers, problems? Because when I reach the destination, I should look back and say, wow, क्या मुश्किलों से गुजर के मैं यहाँ तक पहुँचा हूँ, इसलिए मैंने सर्वाइव किया ये 40 साल। आजकल बहुत सारे यंग लोग बोलते हैं दैट इज द वे आई एम। मैं तो शायद 95 साल की उम्र में भी नहीं बोल पाऊंगा कि दैट इज द वे आई एम, बिकॉज़ द मोमेंट दैट इज द वे आई एम, दैट मींस योर ग्रोथ इज नॉट देयर।
मैं तनु क्या सी कि अब हमें सेकंड इनकम बिल्ड कर लेनी चाहिए और तुमने वापस म्यूचुअल फंड में पैसे डाल दिए।
ये फिक्स्ड इनकम म्यूचुअल फंड्स है।
मतलब
फिक्स्ड इनकम म्यूचुअल फंड्स मतलब चुने हुए इंटरेस्ट बेयरिंग कंपनी बॉन्ड्स, गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड्स और मनी मार्केट विच इन्वेस्टमेंट, मतलब रेगुलर इनकम विच वी कैन विड्रॉ फ्रॉम टाइम टू टाइम।
मतलब म्यूचुअल फंड में फिक्स्ड इनकम वाली बात सही है।
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
भारत के इतने लेजेंडरी एक्टर फिर से एक तरह से रिस्क क्यों ले रहे हैं?
ओशो की एक बड़ी अच्छी लाइन है
जी,
इफ यू ट्राई यू रिस्क फेलियर, इफ यू डोंट यू एंश्योर इट। मैं हमेशा मानता हूँ वो जीवन ही क्या जो संघर्षमय ना, संघर्षमय होने से ही तो अपने जिंदा होने का एहसास होता है।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
आपका जो अभी जो ओहदा है, इट इज अ सेल्फ फॉट पोजीशन अनुपम जी। What I like about you, the reason I admire you is because you're a one-man industry. Lot of industry people don't like you. Lot of groups don't like you. They cannot come and say that he doesn't deserve what he is getting.
मेरा और मेरे फादर का एक बड़ा अच्छा किस्सा था। आज स्लो डाउन एंड आई वाज डूइंग लेस फिल्म्स। तो उन्होंने मुझसे ऐसे ही खिड़की से बाहर देखते देखते बोला, अनुपम यू आर नॉट डूइंग मेनी फिल्म बेटा, ऐसा क्यों है? तो मैंने उनसे कहा कि नो डैड, आई एम नॉट इन द रैट रेस। तो उन्होंने बिना मेरी तरफ मुड़े बोला, ओ यू हैव लेफ्ट द रेस फॉर द रैट्स। तो आई थिंक बड़ा मुश्किल है सबको खुश करना। देखिए दुख तो होता है, तकलीफ तो होती है कि यार मैं कहता हूँ मैंने किसी का कुछ, पर फिर मैंने इस बारे में सोचना ही बंद कर दिया, क्योंकि काम जो है ना बेस्ट लेवलाइजर है। काम से इतनी सेटिस्फैक्शन मिलती है, इसलिए रिटायर होने का सोच ही नहीं सकता।
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
जो कहा जा रहा है कि इसको लेकर क्या कहें, क्या मैच भारत पाकिस्तान इस स्थिति में होना चाहिए? ऐसा इस स्थिति में होना चाहिए मैच।
Republic launches mega campaign to boycott India-Pakistan Asia Cup clash. Nation says terror and cricket cannot go hand in hand. BCCI silent. Centre cracks down on OTT soft porn in a major cleanup. Government bans 25 OTT websites. Big move by Election Commission of India. Poll watchdog announces pan-India special intensive revision exercise for electoral rolls. Sanjay Kapoor's mother questions circumstances of son's death, alleges coercion, seeks meeting deferment. Speaker Om Birla meets party leaders, urges for smooth functioning of the parliament. PM Modi receives grand welcome in Maldives, key bilateral scheduled with President Muizzu. 8 children killed, 60 fear trapped after the roof of primary school in Chalwar, Rajasthan collapses. Rescue operations underway. A very good afternoon, viewers. It's 3 p.m. and you're watching Republic TV. I'm Deepak Suresh Kumar. First up, the government has banned several popular streaming applications, including Ulu, Alt, Desi Flix, Big Shots, and others, citing concerns over streaming of obscene and sexually explicit material. This is a major digital cleanup launched by the central government, and now websites and other OTT platforms, 25 of them have been banned and blocked by the central government. We also have some reactions coming in as far as this particular ban is concerned. Let's listen in.
देखिए, सरकार का निर्णय संस्कृति को लेके, भारत को लेके ज़रूरी था। जहाँ पे ऐसे OTT जो लाइसेंस्ड हैं, अनलाइसेंस्ड हैं, वो सॉफ्ट पॉर्न बना रहे हैं या गलत फिल्में बना रहे हैं या गलत फिल्मों को प्रदर्शित कर रहे हैं, उस पर ये सरकार ने निर्णय लिया है। और ये पूरे देश की जनता का एक संदेशा था हमेशा सरकार को कि सरकार, और वो ट्वीट पे, एक्स के माध्यम से बता रहे थे, तो निर्णय स्वागत योग्य है। और ये सोच समझ के आप एंटरटेनमेंट पेश करें, लेकिन एंटरटेनमेंट की एक परिभाषा, एक उसकी एक लक्ष्मण रेखा होती है, और उस पर ही निर्णय है। और इससे चीज़ें संतुलित होंगी। लोग एंटरटेनमेंट में अपनी मर्यादाओं को, परिवार को, भारत की संस्कृति को, भारत के विचारधाराओं को याद रख के बनाएंगे।
कि जो खासकर जिस तरह से जो ऐप जो इलीगल हैं, उनके प्रति, उनके अगेंस्ट जो ये स्टेप लिया गया है, इट इज़ अप्रिशिएटेड।
तो आपके सवाल में तो आपका इधर कंटेंट देखने लायक नहीं है, जो आप भैया को प्रणाम के साथ बैठकर आप नहीं देख सकते हैं, जो शर्मनाक है, जिसकी अश्लील भाषा है, प्रेजेंटेशन में गंदगी है, ऐसी भाषा को या शब्दों का चयन जिनका सराहनीय नहीं है, इनको अगर बैन किया गया तो मैं समझता हूँ ये बहुत प्रशंसनीय है। इसकी सराहना करते हैं। अगर आपको याद हो तो सबसे पहले जो पिछली बार मैं IT और इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी कमेटी में था, तो सबसे पहले इसको बैन करने के लिए, रोकने के लिए, प्रतिबंध लगाने के मैंने ही आवाज़ उठाई और मैंने काफ़ी ज़ोर शोर से आवाज़ उठाई। आज मुझे खुशी है ये जो है हम उसको नतीजे पर पहुंचते हुए देख रहे हैं। अच्छा है, ये बहुत बढ़िया हुआ है। ये क्या मतलब है, आप अपने माँ बहन के साथ बैठे हुए हैं, आप वहाँ परिवार के साथ बैठे हुए हैं और ऐसी वल्गर कंटेंट से, वल्गर अश्लील भाषा का प्रयोग उसमें करते रहे, ये फ्रीडम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन के नाम पे सरासर बहुत अच्छा हुआ।
Viewers, let's now get you up to speed with the top stories from across the nation in 1 minute.
Bharat 1 Minute brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
President's rule in Manipur has been extended by another 6 months following a resolution introduced by Union Home Minister Amit Shah. Today, the extension will come into effect from August 13. President's rule was imposed in Manipur on February 13, shortly after former Chief Minister N. Biren Singh stepped down. In a significant advancement for India's defense capabilities, Defense Minister Rajnath Singh has announced the successful flight trials of the UAV-launched precision-guided missile V3 conducted by DRDO in Kurnool of Andhra Pradesh. Rajnath Singh congratulated DRDO industry partners, MSMEs and startups for their role in the development and successful test firing of the missile. Mumbai is grappling with severe flooding as heavy rains continue to lash the city. Streets near Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj terminus are completely submerged. Underpasses have been closed, causing traffic disruptions, and daily life has been disrupted. Moving on, viewers, as the countdown to the Asia Cup begins, Republic takes a very clear and an uncompromising stand. We are saying it loud and clear, no cricket with Pakistan, and this is not just a match. This is about national honor. about the blood of our martyrs and about the message that we are sending to the world. While Pakistan continues to harbor terrorists, why should India offer them the honor of a cricket field? Republic now leads a nationwide campaign, Say No to India versus Pakistan, because terror and cricket cannot go hand in hand. The question is very simple. Will we stand for our nation or will we play ball with Terroristan? That's the big question that we're asking. The BCCI is also very, very silent, and it has decided to keep mum on the future of the Asia Cup, as now leaked reports have suggested that India and Pakistan will be part of the same group in the tournament, which is set to take place in the second week of September. And rumors are also rife that the BCCI has agreed to organize the tournament in the UAE despite being the hosts. And this will allow the Indian team to avoid traveling to a neutral venue for the matches against the Pakistan cricket team. But the nation is now completely outraged with this decision of holding the India-Pakistan match. And in fact, Republic also confronted Rajiv Shukla, and he had nothing to say about this. Listen in.
तो जो कहा जा रहा है कि इसको लेकर क्या कहें, क्या मैच भारत पाकिस्तान इस स्थिति में होना चाहिए, है सर, इस स्थिति में होना चाहिए मैच, तो जो कहा जा रहा है कि इसको लेकर क्या कहें, क्या मैच भारत पाकिस्तान इस स्थिति में होना चाहिए, है सर, इस स्थिति में होना चाहिए मैच, तो जो कहा जा रहा है कि इसको लेकर क्या कहें, क्या मैच भारत पाकिस्तान इस स्थिति में होना चाहिए, है सर, इस स्थिति में होना चाहिए मैच, तो जो कहा जा रहा है कि इसको लेकर क्या कहें, क्या मैच भारत पाकिस्तान इस स्थिति में होना चाहिए,
Viewers, call in on the numbers flashing on the bottom of your screens to express your opinion on whether India and Pakistan match should go on, especially at a time when India recently concluded a very, very successful Operation Sindhu by bombarding major air bases, and also about the recent Pahalgam terror attack. In the backdrop of all of this, do you think that the India-Pakistan Asia Cup match must really go on? Or do you think that the BCCI should take a nation-first approach, because that's what the chorus is for? But unfortunately, the BCCI has been very, very silent. Rajiv Shukla there, confronted by Republic, he had no answers to our questions. He was completely silent, running away to his car, evading our direct questions on this particular development, on rumors that India and Pakistan are indeed going to play a match in the UAE in the upcoming Asia Cup 2025, which is all set to happen in the second week of September. But this is a moment where India, BCCI, the players must decide whether or not they would want to share the 22 yards with the players from a country that sponsors terror, that breeds terror, that harbors terrorists, that also funds terrorists. We also have Manish joining us live on the phone line with us. Manish, what do you think? Do you think that India and Pakistan match should really go on, or BCCI? Do you think the BCCI should take a nation-first approach?
The BCCI must take the nation-first approach. I have already tweeted it to you, Republic, by tagging the PMO, Narendra Modi ji, Amit Shah ji and other people on my tweet yesterday evening. There should not be any cricket match relations with Pakistan until and unless the Masood Azhar and other terrorists and perpetrators of Pahalgam are handed over to India.
That's right, Manish. This is a very crucial time, because in just the last couple of months, we've seen a lot of developments happening as far as the Pahalgam terror attack is concerned. And then we have a retaliation from India. And furthermore, what we really understand is that TRF has also been designated as a global terror organization. And still, what we see is BCCI continues to maintain a haunting silence on the India-Pakistan clash. We also have Mohan joining us live from Mumbai. Mohan, what is your opinion on the rumors that India will play Pakistan in UAE?
I am totally against playing with Pakistan in any match, in any venue. Pakistan should be totally banned from our list of games. Thank you.
That's right. We have cut ties with Pakistan on the diplomatic front. We have stopped water for Pakistan. And why share the cricket field now? How is this different from the other severing of ties on various fronts. So this is a question that BCCI must really answer, and it is a stand that the nation is saying BCCI must take. It is the nation first stand, and they shouldn't allow the India-Pakistan match to go on. In fact, we also have N. Mohan joining us from Chennai. Mohan, BCCI is silent, but reports are suggesting that India-Pakistan match will really go on. Do you think this is fair on the terror victims?
It is absolutely unfair. We must respect our Indian citizens, and we must respect our principles adopted by Prime Minister Modi. No relation with Pakistan, nothing of the sort in any sports, not only sports, but in any kind of activity with Pakistan. In fact, even the meeting which they are proposing to have with the ACC meeting and BCCI meeting with Pak should never be allowed. We should never even venture to meet them anywhere, in any place, in any part of the world. We respect our army, we respect our citizens, and we respect our integrity. That is more important than any game of cricket or any relation with Pakistan, which is internationally recognized or attributed terrorist nation. We should totally boycott. I'm totally with Republic's advertisement of what you are playing. No cricket with Pakistan. Not only cricket, no sports, no meeting, nothing.
That's right. That's right, Mohan. In fact, we also have Lakshman joining us from Gandhinagar. Lakshman, 7/11, 26/11, now Pahalgam terror attack and constant bid to disrupt peace in the valley. All of this being sponsored by Pakistan, but BCCI is silent. Why is it so tough for the BCCI to come out and say that we will not play the India-Pakistan match?
Good afternoon to you and to all the listeners. My point is very simple. India is not up for sale. So for heaven's sake, for the sake of a few dollars, do not sell India's integrity. Modi ji, please be firm like you've always been. Tell Pakistan, go to hell. The world says no Olympics to you because you're saying no to Pakistan. To hell with Olympics. You should have that guts in India to withstand, like Israel is standing up for its rights. Why not India? Stand up for your right, Modi ji. Stand up for your right.
That's right, Lakshman, and this is something that the BCCI must watch and hear, because BCCI is completely silent despite being questioned time and again, and they don't have any answers, despite a nation completely outraged over these reports and rumors doing the rounds that India will take on Pakistan in the Asia Cup, especially at a time like this, especially at a time when India is spreading the message against terrorism to major global capitals, and also these global capitals have also expressed solidarity with India, but BCCI, on the other hand, is completely mum. A deafening silence from Mumbai is haunting 1.4 billion Indians, because today the nation wants to know whether or not the BCCI will take the nation-first approach. That's the big question. Will BCCI succumb to the pressure of these platforms, streaming platforms? With that, viewers, let's now cut across to those visuals coming in of the Prime Minister from Maldives. This is the Prime Minister's visit to Maldives. There you can see a ceremonial honor for the Prime Minister. President Muizu there accompanying PM Modi there. Let's also listen in and also cut across to those colorful pictures and audio coming in live from Maldives. In fact, we have our senior executive editor Abhishek Kapoor joining us on the phone line. Abhishek, how significant is this visit, especially after an entire saga of the diplomatic row between the two nations?
Well, of course, this is a very significant visit. The fact that Deepak, Prime Minister, is being given, he's been made the guest of honor at the Maldives National Day celebrations, which are going to take place tomorrow. What we are seeing in the pictures now are pictures of the official welcome ceremony. This is happening at the Republic Square in Male, and before that, we saw Prime Minister's arrival at the airport, where he was given a very grand welcome by President himself, along with his top cabinet members, including Ministers of Home, Finance, Foreign Affairs and Defense. And now, after this welcome, we would see restricted talks between the two leaders, which are going to go on for about 40-45 minutes, and then, of course, delegation-level talks, the exchange of MOUs, press statements. We expect the press statements to happen at around 6 p.m. India time. And then, of course, an official state banquet hosted by President Muizu. Your question about how significant this visit is, I mean, it's a turnaround, and absolutely magical turnaround in terms of Maldives' position on India under President Muizu, because he came to power on out India plank, and in fact, after coming to power for a couple of months, things had gone really downhill. They were frosty, to say the least, and they were not looking good. And then, with some deft diplomacy and patience, India has succeeded to turn around the position of President Muizu, his cabinet, his government, and the people of Maldives. It was a mix of carrot and stick policy. So while we continue to play the good Samaritan and the good neighbor by being first responders in times of crisis, in terms of their, evacuations, medical evacuations, our HADR, which is humanitarian assistance and disaster response, everything was there, despite all the hostility that we saw initially in the Muizu administration. And then, of course, financially backing Maldives by way of debt rollover, by way of providing lines of credit. More could be provided now, currency swap, etc., loans, grants. So I think the Maldivians realized, and President Muizu personally realized, that maybe his understanding of India was wrong, or it's likely that he understood from the very first day itself. But then he essentially was angling to come to power, and he used his anti-India plan to position himself, because the earlier government was seen as very close to India. Ultimately, things have fallen in place, and for those people who thought that India had lost its way in Maldives, I think this is a reality check. These pictures are a reality check, and we are going to see it panning out all through the day, and tomorrow also, when Prime Minister participates in the National Day festivities of Maldives. Deepak.
That's right, Abhishek. And also, Abhishek, help us understand this engagement, because both the countries are seeking to mend ties and reaffirm their partnership. But for Maldives, it continues its complex balancing act between India and China. How do you look at this, Abhishek?
Well, so you see, initially Maldives, or specifically President Muizu, did try to play the China card, but it seems it did not work. He did go to China on a state visit, and subsequently he saw the proof of the pudding is in its eating, and he saw that China is far, India is the first responder. As I was mentioning, Deepak, the entire medical evacuation operation in Maldives, and remember, it's an archipelago of 3,000 littorals. And so, those are small islands with, population of 10 somewhere, 100 other places. And then they need to be moved around in those ferries, and it's a massive operation by itself. But of course, obviously, the Maldivians do not have the kind of infrastructure needed. So in that sense, they once in power, Muizu realized that ultimately it's India in the neighborhood that's a better bet and a better call than China, which is far, Beijing, which is far. And of course, then it comes with strings attached. China never gives anything for free. There is nothing called free lunch. So that's the reason why we have seen this turnaround, where, and of course, it took a lot of patience on our part, and the Modi government really sat through it with, as I mentioned, cap and stick policy. Remember that famous picture, one picture of Prime Minister Modi at Lakshadweep, and the way it turned around the entire Maldivian economy, based as it is on tourism and mainly tourism from India. And so it was not very difficult to bring Maldives to its knees, so to say. And then, of course, as I said, the Good Samaritan conduct with all the lines of credits and, loans and grants, etc. I think hopefully now everyone understands in Maldives that it's better to be on the side of India and not mess around.
Right, Abhishek, thank you for joining us with those insights. And these are the pictures coming in live from Male, as Abhishek was saying, that this is the official welcome for the Prime Minister, a ceremonial one. And this visit is very, very significant given the recent tensions between India and Maldives, largely stemming from the growing influence of China in this particular region. However, India's relationship with Maldives has been historically marked by swift and substantial responses, because India has been the first responder for Maldives. Now, like I was mentioning, viewers, that India has been a first responder from providing military assistance in 1988 to 2020 COVID-19 pandemic. India has been helping and offering immediate relief to Maldives. Well, viewers, and today's visit offers a fresh opportunity for both the countries to strengthen their ties and also address key issues such as security and economic cooperation and also climate change. And this is a very, very important engagement as far as India-Maldives ties are concerned, because India has time and again played a very, very important role in ensuring peaceful, relief provision for Maldives in times of crisis, 2004 tsunami, 1988 coup, and also during the political instability that followed in 2018. India played a very key role in ensuring a peaceful transition of power after President Yamin's defeat. And more recently, India's support during the COVID-19 also highlights how India has been the first responder, because we provided vaccine assistance, medical supplies, reinforced it with the ongoing cooperation between the two nations. And today's visit marks a very, very important turning point as far as mending ties are concerned, because it provides that particular platform for both the nations to reaffirm their bilateral relationship. And these are the pictures coming in live from Maldives, a ceremonial welcome for the Prime Minister. In fact, a guard of honor was also provided as President Muizu accompanied PM Modi. We also have Chandrakala joining us live from the national capital. Chandrakala, the Prime Minister has received a ceremonial welcome. Tell us about his engagements for the day.
Well, a very crucial visit coming at this is the first such state visit being made by Prime Minister Modi after the President of Maldives has assumed office, of course, and we are looking forward to a very important bilateral meeting between the two leaders, slated to be held from some times now. And as we have seen, that Prime Minister Modi has received a ceremonial welcome, and tomorrow on 26th July, he's going to attend the 60th Independence Day in Maldives. Or this visit comes at a very crucial time because it could be seen as a way of resetting the ties after the India Out campaign, which we have seen the pro-China leader Muzu has taken during his election campaign, and a very crucial visit. And there are like certain bilateral meetings to be taking place today. Many MOUs concerning on trade, defense, and other trade will be signed during this visit. And yes, we are looking forward to this particular visit. It is an attempt to reset ties between India and Maldives. And tomorrow, as I have already mentioned, the Prime Minister is going to attend the 60th Independence Day. This is also Muse's first such hosting the ceremony, and Prime Minister is the first such leader who is visiting from India after Muse has assumed office as the president of Maldives. Looking forward to this very crucial visit, and a press statement is also slated to take place. Number of MOUs on different sectors are also slated forward.
That's right, Chandrakala. This is the Prime Minister's two-day visit, which also coincides with Maldives' 60th Independence Day celebrations, where PM Modi will be attending as the guest of honor. And his visit also marks 60 years of diplomatic relations between the two countries, with India being among the first nations to recognize the Maldives after it gained independence in 1965. And this is also Prime Minister's third visit since he took office in 2014, and it comes at a very, very crucial time when both the countries are seeking to explore a new chapter to reset their ties. And the visit is expected to also open key avenues for cooperation, especially in the economic and digital sectors. Let's now cut across to Kiran Rijiju, the Parliamentary Affairs Minister.
लिख करके अनुरोध किया था कि पहलगाम में आतंकवादी हमला और ऑपरेशन सिंदूर को लेकर के पार्लियामेंट में चर्चा होनी चाहिए। पार्लियामेंट शुरू होते ही हमने सरकार की ओर से साफ शब्दों में कहा कि हम चर्चा के लिए तैयार हैं। पहले दिन हमने बिजनेस लेके आए और साथ साथ में बिजनेस एडवाइजरी कमेटी में हमने बात रखी कि हम ऑपरेशन सिंदूर पर चर्चा करने के लिए तैयार हैं, लेकिन विपक्ष की ओर से पहले दिन से हंगामा शुरू कर दिया और नियम के विरुद्ध तकिया लेकर के, पोस्टर बैनर लेकर के संसद के अंदर और संसद के बाहर प्रदर्शन किया और सदन को चलने नहीं दिया। पहले सप्ताह में सिर्फ एक ही बिल हम पास कर पाए हैं। एक बिल पास होने के बाद फिर से हमने अनुरोध किया कि हम दूसरे बिल भी लिस्टेड है और चर्चा करके पारित करना चाहिए, लेकिन कांग्रेस और कुछ दलों ने फिर से हंगामा, शोर शराबे और तकिया लेकर के पार्लियामेंट के अंदर में, फिर पार्लियामेंट के बाहर भी हंगामा करके पार्लियामेंट प्रोसीडिंग का बाधित किया है। मैं फिर से पुकारना चाहता हूं सारे ऑपोजिशन पार्टी को कि जो आपने मांग किए हैं, सरकार ने एग्री किया है, तो और आगे चल करके पार्लियामेंट सेशन को डिस्टर्ब ना करें। देश का जनता जितने मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट है इसलिए चुन के भेजता है कि पार्लियामेंट में देश का समस्याएं और कई भी मुद्दे हो सकते हैं, आप उठा सकते हैं नियम के तहत। एक एक सवाल को तैयार करने में, उसका जवाब बनाने में सरकार में बहुत सारे लोग इन्वॉल्व होते हैं। ऑफिसर्स का पूरा समय, एमपी का जो क्वेश्चन होते हैं उसको जवाब देने के लिए पूरा रिसोर्सेस लगा करके जवाब तैयार करते हैं। फिर जब उसको चर्चा नहीं करते हैं, जवाब को सुनते नहीं हैं, तो नुकसान देश का होता है, जनता का होता है। तो मैं आज बिजनेस एडवाइजरी कमेटी लोकसभा स्पीकर के माध्यम से बुलाए गए थे उसमें भी बात को फिर से दोहराया कि हम ऑपरेशन सिंदूर पर चर्चा करने के लिए तैयार हैं। तो आज बीएससी में ये निर्णय हुआ कि अगले सप्ताह यानी कि मंडे को स्पेशल डिस्कशन ऑन टेररिस्ट अटैक इन पहलगाम एंड इन response to that the operation Sindhu carried out by Indian Armed Forces, इस पे हम चर्चा करेंगे। पहलगाम पे आतंकवादियों का हमला और फिर सरकार का जवाब ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के माध्यम से सेना ने जो जवाब किया है उसके चर्चा होंगे। तो इसमें सहमति बने हैं। तो मंडे से अच्छी तरह से हम सदन चलाने के लिए आज सब पार्टी ने मिल करके एग्री किया है। मैं उम्मीद करता हूं कि ये एग्रीमेंट को आगे नहीं तोड़ेंगे और मंडे से सुचारू रूप से सदन चलेंगे, ये मैं उम्मीद के साथ आपको बता रहा हूं। दूसरा कई और चर्चा है। अपोजिशन पार्टी की ओर से, रूलिंग अलायंस की ओर से कई पार्टियां हैं जिन्होंने अलग अलग नियमों में चर्चा मांगी है। तो हमने कहा कि हम चर्चा के लिए खुले मन से हम तैयार हैं, लेकिन चर्चा करने का एक तरीका होता है, नियम होता है। तो नियम के तहत हम चर्चा के लिए तैयार हैं।
सर, क्या एसआईआर के मुद्दे पर सरकार जवाब देगी?
हमने आज दो बातें बीएससी में रखा है कि चर्चा के दौरान ऑपोजिशन पार्टी से कौन बोलेगा ये सरकार तय नहीं कर सकता है, और सरकार की ओर से कौन जवाब देंगे इसका तय विपक्ष नहीं कर सकते हैं। वो अपने अपने क्षेत्र में अपना अधिकार है कि सरकार में कौन बोलना चाहिए कौन नहीं बोलना चाहिए, ये विपक्ष तय नहीं करेंगे और विपक्ष भी अपने हिसाब से अपना लिस्ट ऑफ स्पीकर तैयार करें।
सर, ये क्या पीएम की मांग पर है जो वो बार-बार डिमांड कर रहे हैं?
बार-बार वो यही कह रहे हैं कि प्रधानमंत्री को जवाब देना चाहिए। तो ये बिजनेस एडवाइजरी कमेटी देश के प्रधानमंत्री को बाध्य नहीं कर सकता है कब बोलना है कहाँ बोलना है, ये सरकार तय करते हैं।
सर, व्हाट इज द स्टेट ऑफ?
दूसरा और भी मुद्दे उन्होंने उठाए हैं। तो हमने ये कहा है कि सारे मुद्दे हमने सुना है और उस पर विचार होगा, लेकिन एक साथ सारे मुद्दे पे चर्चा तो हो नहीं सकता है। तो मल्टीपल डिमांड एक साथ में रखेंगे तो उससे कोई मतलब नहीं होता है। इन्होंने स्पेशल इंटेंसिव रिवीजन और कई मुद्दे हैं अलग अलग पार्टियों ने रखा है। तो मैं उसको जवाब दिया है कि पहले हम ऑपरेशन सिंदूर पे चर्चा करेंगे। ये ऑपोजिशन पार्टी का ही मांग था, सरकार ने एग्री पहले दिन से किया है। तो ऑपरेशन सिंदूर पे चर्चा पूरा करने के बाद अगले विषय क्या लेंगे उसका हम बाद में तय करेंगे। जो क्वेश्चन आंसर होता है, 0 आवर होता है, ये मेंबर का प्रिविलेज है, उसको आप डिस्टर्ब ना करें। इसलिए मंडे से लोकसभा में 16 आवर्स 16 घंटे के लिए ऑपरेशन सिंदूर पर चर्चा होगी और ट्यूसडे को राज्यसभा में फिर 16 घंटे के लिए ऑपरेशन सिंदूर पर चर्चा होगी। तो ये आज बीएससी में तय किया गया है। ये स्पेशल डिस्कशन का एग्रीमेंट ये पहले बार नहीं है। चर्चा करने का कई तरीके होते हैं। हम रूल 342 में भी कर सकते हैं, 193 में भी कर सकते हैं, कई और नियम हैं, लेकिन हमने ये एग्री किया है। जैसे संविधान पर हमने चर्चा किए थे, बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर के 125वीं जन्म तिथि पर भी हमने एक विशेष चर्चा की थी। उसी प्रकार से ऑपरेशन सिंदूर बहुत विशेष विषय है, देश के लिए गौरव का विषय है। हमारा सैनिकों का वीर गाथा के बारे में बहुत लोगों को कहना है, इसलिए ऑपरेशन सिंदूर का चर्चा स्पेशल डिस्कशन होगा, कोई स्पेसिफिक रूल्स पे नहीं, ये एक स्पेशल डिस्कशन है। इसलिए इस पे व्यापक रूप से अपना बात रखने का मौका मिलेगा।
पिछले 4 दिन से लगातार संसद में एसआईआर के मुद्दे पे हंगामा हो रहा है, तो अपोजिशन ये कह रहा है कि सरकार जवाब दो। ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के बाद क्या सरकार जवाब देगी?
मैंने यही बात आज बीएससी में भी कहा है और अभी आपके माध्यम से फिर कह रहा हूं कि सबसे पहले ऑपरेशन सिंदूर पर चर्चा होगी, ये अपोजिशन पार्टी का ही मांग रही है, हमने तुरंत एग्री किया है। उसके बाद कौन सा विषय पर लेकर के चर्चा होगी ये उसके बाद तय करेंगे। सारा चीज़ एक दिन में तय नहीं होती है और जो भी चर्चा होनी है वो नियम के तहत ही होगा। नियम को ताक में रख करके तो हम पार्लियामेंट नहीं चला सकते हैं। मैंने पहले दिन से संसदीय कार्य मंत्री होने के नाते सारे अपोजिशन पार्टी को अपील किया, लीडर ऑफ अपोजिशन के साथ बैठक हुई, बातचीत किया और मेरे तरफ से जो भी पहल करना है मैंने पूरा किया, आगे भी करते रहेंगे। ये हमारा ड्यूटी है। सरकार की ओर से हमने सब पार्टियों से अपील किया और हम लगातार संपर्क में रहेंगे। आज भी किए हैं।
क्या बैठक में बातचीत हुई? अगर
वो मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे जी जो नेता प्रतिपक्ष राज्यसभा में हैं और राहुल गांधी जी नेता प्रतिपक्ष लोकसभा में हैं, दोनों के साथ आज भी बैठक की है, लेकिन वो बैठक का डिटेल मुझे सार्वजनिक रूप से चर्चा नहीं करनी है। लेकिन विशेष रूप से पार्लियामेंट अच्छा से चलना चाहिए, ये हमारा शुरू से प्रयास रही है और आगे भी मैं अपील करता हूं कि सब मिलकर के सब पार्टियों को बोलने का पर्याप्त मौका मिलेगा। जस्टिस यशवंत वर्मा का मुद्दे को लेकर के बहुत पहले से हमने प्रयास किया और हमने बहुत ही साफ शब्दों में कहा है कि ये सिर्फ सरकार का प्रयास नहीं बल्कि पूरे सदन का, पूरे मेंबर्स ऑफ पार्लियामेंट का एक मत है कि जुडिशरी में अगर करप्शन का मुद्दा है या कोई हाई कोर्ट सुप्रीम कोर्ट जज को हटाना है, ये पूरा संसद का दायित्व होता है, इसमें हम विभाजित नहीं होना चाहिए। इसलिए जैसे हमने शुरू में तय किया कि हम एकजुट इस मोशन को मूव करेंगे तो इसका प्रक्रिया बहुत जल्द हो जाएंगे। हमने मोशन दे दिया है, अब इसका जो प्रक्रिया है जैसे नियम है उसके हिसाब से बहुत जल्द शुरू हो जाएंगे। All the political parties have agreed that the removal of Justice Verma has to be a joint call. Now there should be no issue with regards to which house it has to be moved. Once we have agreed that it will be moved in Lok Sabha and it will be concurred in Rajya Sabha as per rule, so we should not remain under any doubt that the discussion and the motion, everything will begin in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha as per rule will give the concurrence and there will be thorough discussion in Rajya Sabha also. I am not going to give the detailed proceedings and detailed process right now because it is the property of the house, so it will be better the announcement comes from the chair. But what I am saying is the agreement amongst all the parties is that the motion for removal of Justice Verma will begin in Lok Sabha, it will be taken up in Lok Sabha and then subsequently it will be concurred by Rajya Sabha. That is the agreement of all the parties.
So will the new vice presidential candidate happen in this session?
No, I'm not going to talk about the vice president issue because I am concerned about the business in the house in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha.
सर, क्या चुनाव आयोग के फैसले पर पार्लियामेंट में डिस्कशन होगा?
वो जैसे रूल है, रूल के हिसाब से चलेंगे। मैं अभी बाकी मामलों पे कहना नहीं चाहता हूँ। मैं सदन में जो गतिविधि है, जो बिजनेस है, उसी के बारे में ही मैं आपसे बात करूँगा। थैंक यू। There's no ruling. There's no admission.
It's not admitted.
Well, that was Kiran Rijiju detailing the minutes of the meeting. As far as the engagement with the opposition leaders were also concerned, he said that he clearly stated to the opposition leaders, the leader of opposition in the Rajya Sabha as well as the leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha, that from Monday there will be a discussion, a debate on Operation Sindhu, Pahalgam terror attack, and this in accordance with the opposition's demand for a debate. And he said that the centre had already agreed for a debate and the need of the hour was smooth functioning of the parliament, which the opposition has been blocking with protests, chaos and also sloganeering. Moving on, viewers, HM calls a top meeting with the ministers today, and JP Nadda, Rajnath Singh, Piyush Goyal, Arjun Ram Meghwal, Bhupender Yadav, Dharmendra Pradhan, all of them will be part of this particular meeting. And after Rijiju's meeting with Rahul Gandhi, the leader of opposition of Lok Sabha, and Mallikarjun Kharge, leader of opposition in the upper house, top senior ministers will reach out to opposition before the discussion on Operation Sindhu begins on Monday. And this is another all-important meeting called by Union Home Minister H.M. Shah. We have our executive editor Aishwarya Kapoor joining us on the phone line. Aishwarya, this is another important meeting called by Union Home Minister Amit Shah. Help us understand the details of this particular engagement. In fact, we'll get our executive editor back with us, but this is the breaking news that we're tracking at the moment, viewers. After Kiran Rijiju's meeting with the LOPs of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, Aishwarya is back with us. Aishwarya, help us understand the details of this particular meeting. And it seems like the ministers will reach out to the opposition leaders over the debate on Operation Sindhu on Monday.
Well, it's a meeting after meeting, Deepak, and this important meeting has been chaired or will be chaired by the Home Minister. We just heard Kiran Rijiju just few minutes prior, and that was post him having a meeting between Rahul Gandhi and then Mallikarjun Kharge. This meeting about which we are having a conversation is scheduled for in the evening. We are being told around 6:30 in the evening at the Home Minister's residence. You will have Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, BJP National President Jagat Prakash Nadda, Kiran Rijiju, Piyush Goyal, Bhupender Yadav, Dharmendra Pradhan, and then so on and so forth, including that of Ashwini Vaishnav as well. But this is happening because the government is planning that it is going to put its best foot forward as far as Operation Sindhu is concerned. And we have to keep in mind that the Prime Minister himself, the Home Minister, the Defence Minister, the Foreign Minister, so in other words, you name it, and that minister is going to be speaking. So government is trying to put their best foot forward as far as Operation Sindhu is concerned, and they want a proper structured discussion and not disruption. And hence you see the government trying to reach out, and the Home Minister calling this meeting of the top level officers, post which we are being told that between tomorrow and day after, that is Saturday and Sunday, you are going to see a massive outreach from the government side, though we have seen step one of that with the Kiran Rijiju meeting Rahul Gandhi and Mallikarjun Kharge, but government understanding that with them putting the Prime Minister up front himself and then the Home Minister and backing by Defence Minister and then so on and so forth, they would need to reach out a bit more. And then for the same, we are being told after this meeting, which is scheduled for 6:30 in the evening today, at the Home Minister's residence, there will be a massive outreach from the government to the complete opposition, and not only that, to the Congress party.
Right, Aishwarya, thank you for joining us with those details. But the big question is, will the opposition let the parliament function smoothly? Will it let the debate happen as per plan? That's the big question. All eyes will be on Monday's session. But let's move on, viewers, because in a major boost to India's defense capabilities, DRDO has successfully carried out flight trials of UAV launched precision-guided missile V3 in the National Open Area Range. It's a test range in Kargil of Andhra Pradesh, and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh also congratulated DRDO and the industry partners, DCPPs, MSMEs and also the startups for the development and successful trials of the UAV-launched precision-guided missile V3 system. There are pictures coming in from Maldives. The Prime Minister is being accorded an official welcome There you can see that is how President of Maldives Muizu welcomed the Prime Minister. It was a ceremonial welcome for PM Modi as he arrived for his third visit to Maldives since 2014, first visit since the diplomatic fallout with Maldives. And it's a very important chapter as both the nations will be looking to reset and reaffirm their ties, especially amidst the growing influence of China on this island nation. And the focus today and during this particular visit will be on UPI and FTA talks. It's a major highlight of the trip, and it is also anticipated launch of India's Unified Payments Interface Services in Maldives, a step that has been seen towards deepening financial connectivity. In addition to the UPI launch, India and Maldives will also initiate discussions on a free trade agreement for 2025. Now, remember, the two countries had earlier signed a trade agreement in 1981, and it is also to be noted here that the bilateral trade between India and Maldives has reached approximately $548 million in 2023, more than double the $245 million recorded in 2020. And this is the Prime Minister's second stop after his visit to the United Kingdom. Over there as well, we signed an FTA with Keir Starmer, and now another FTA with Maldives is also on the cards. India mainly imports scrap metal from Maldives while exporting a large range of goods including engineering products, pharmaceuticals, cement, agricultural produce such as rice, spices, fruits, vegetables, and also poultry. It is an important engagement between the two countries to reset ties, to further their trade, and also to introduce UPI in Maldives. Moving on, viewers, Ministry of Defence has signed a contract with Bharat Electronics Limited for the procurement of air defence fire control radars for the Indian Army, with approximately, which are worth around 2,000 crore rupees under the Buy Indian Indigenously Designed, Developed and Manufactured category. The contract was inked and exchanged by the senior officials of Ministry of Defence and BEL in the presence of Defence Secretary Shri Rajesh Kumar Singh in the national capital today. And this is another boost for our defence capabilities. What we understand is that the Ministry of Defence has signed a special contract with BEL for the procurement of air defence fire control radars for the Indian Army, and this particular system is worth around 2,000 crore rupees. It will be procured under the Buy Indian Indigenously Designed, Developed and Manufactured category. Ishan is joining us live from the newsroom to give us more details about the air control fire systems and radars. Ishan, help us understand about this major defence procurement.
This procurement is primarily for the air defence systems of the Indian Army. This is post-Operation Sindhu. Indian Army realized the importance of the air defence systems. We have already been investing in this field a lot, and this procurement will boost the capabilities of the Indian Army to a great extent. The air defence system radars are primarily used to guide the missiles and munitions and drones to prevent the enemy drones and aircraft to come in. These will be deployed at various locations across and provide the information to the Central Command Unit, and the Central Command Unit therefore transmits that information to the respective missile systems and air defence systems. This air defence system provides great thrust to the Made in India project, as BEL will be manufacturing these air defence radars, and it is part of the 1.5 lakh crore large procurement DAC announced last month.
That's right, Ishan. Let me also go across to Gursimran. Gursimran, this is a major boost as far as safeguarding our skies are concerned, because we've seen what really happened in Operation Sindhu. Several Dud missiles of Pakistan were shot down by our air defense systems, and these radars will also provide real-time information to the air defense systems deployed across our borders.
Yes, you have rightly mentioned, and taking forward what Ishan was saying, that this is going to boost the Indian armed forces a lot. Reason being what we have seen in the Operation Sindhu, that how Pakistan has used the Turkey-made drone to attack the vital installation, though the attempts were failed. Now, as a major boost to the Atmanirbhar Bharat, the Ministry of Defence has inked this 2,000 crore contract with the Bharat Electronics Limited. And in this, what will happen that over 75% or 70% of the indigenous components, this air defence system will boost the air defence unit of the Indian Army. This is the fire control radars that will not only detect the incoming fighter jets but also the attack helicopters and any aerial threat, being it posed by the swarm drones or any UAV from across the border. So it is capable of pushing back what the Pakistan has done during the Operation Sindoor. This has been done as part of the indigenous Indian developed, designed and manufactured category of the Atmanirbhar Bharat, and now it is going to give a major boost to the air defence unit of the Indian Army, because we have seen that the AD unit of the Indian Army has played a very pivotal role during the Operation Sindoor and the Akash Tir system that has decimated the enemy's plans to disrupt the pace.
That's right, Gursimran and Ishan, thank you for joining me with those details. We have more breaking news coming in. Viewers, the impeachment motion against Justice Yashwant Verma has been admitted in the Lok Sabha, but in the Rajya Sabha, the motion has not been admitted yet. This is the big breaking news that we are tracking at the moment. The impeachment motion against Justice Yashwant Verma has been admitted in the Lok Sabha, and like Kiran Rijiju was saying, that there must be a united stand, united approach for this, and it's certainly an important motion that is in focus in the monsoon session, and it has been admitted in the Lok Sabha, marking a very, very significant step forward. However, in the Rajya Sabha, the motion hasn't been admitted yet, leaving everyone waiting to see whether the upper house will take up the issue or not. But Kiran Rijiju there said that the matter will be taken up in both the houses. The timing is very, very crucial, especially with Operation Sindhu debate also lined up for Monday and the week. So all eyes will be on the Rajya Sabha whether or not it will admit the motion against Justice Yashwant Verma. But meanwhile, focus remains on BCCI. Rajiv Shukla remains mum on India-Pakistan match in the Asia Cup. Stay tuned for more. Along with that, India also cracks down on soft porn OTT platforms. A digital cleanup is being done. Stay tuned for more on this on the other side.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी। अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने, सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
Republic, Jack Olival studio. Stay tuned for all the live and breaking news updates. I'm Deepak Suresh Kumar. Let's get started.
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल। ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े। क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
कि इसको लेकर क्या कहें, क्या मैच भारत पाकिस्तान इस स्थिति में होना चाहिए? सर, इस स्थिति में होना चाहिए मैच।
Republic launches mega campaign to boycott India and Pakistan Asia Cup clash. Nation says terror and cricket cannot go hand in hand. Centre cracks down on OTT soft porn in a major cleanup. Government bans 25 OTT websites.
पार्लियामेंट शुरू होते ही हमने सरकार की ओर से साफ शब्दों में कहा कि हम चर्चा के लिए तैयार हैं। बिजनेस एडवाइजरी कमेटी में हमने बात रखी कि हम ऑपरेशन सिंदूर पर चर्चा करने के लिए तैयार हैं।
Union Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju sets the record straight. Says government ready to have a debate on Operation Sindoor. Opposition must learn to let the parliament function first. Sanjay Kapoor's mother questions circumstances of son's death, alleges coercion, seeks meeting deferment. Home Minister Amit Shah calls for key meeting with top ministers to reach out to opposition before discussion on Operation Sindoor. Prime Minister Narendra Modi receives a grand ceremonial welcome in Maldives. Key bilateral meeting scheduled with President Muizu. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Live and Breaking with me, Krutat Patnaik, at 4 p.m. this Friday evening. Our top story remains big breaking news development coming in from the Parliament. Now, a motion of impeachment against Justice Yashwant Verma has been admitted in the Lok Sabha. However, it has not been admitted, the motion in the Rajya Sabha yet. That's the big breaking news development coming in after a massive all-party meeting with Union Parliamentary Affairs Minister also meeting the opposition members. Impeachment motion against Justice Yashwant Verma has finally been admitted in the Lok Sabha. Just days ago, we had also seen that a similar motion was attempted to be moved in the Rajya Sabha. Subsequently, Vice President Dhankad resigned. There is no update yet on a similar motion in Rajya Sabha. However, the big breaking news update coming in from Lok Sabha. I have my colleague Aishwarya Kapoor joining us on the phone line with more details on this story. Aishwarya, what's the latest coming in from the Parliament vis-a-vis the impeachment motion against Justice Yashwant Verma?
Well, the government always intended to bring this motion in Lok Sabha, and as sources indicated that even the resignation of the Vice President, now the former Vice President Jagdeep Dhankad, was in regard to his rush of getting this motion cleared in the upper house. So the government is very clear and clearly adamant that it wants the impeachment motion to be brought in by the government and not the opposition, and that too in the people's house, in the lower house, that is Lok Sabha. And for that matter, that has been accepted. The motion has been accepted by the chair. We are being told that it can be brought in after Operation Sindhu's discussion, because government, keeping in mind that has already put its best foot forward, keeping in mind the Prime Minister, the Home Minister, Defence Minister, and then so on and so forth on Operation Sindhu. So once now it has been accepted, now the discussion, or it will be brought to vote post the discussion on Operation Sindhu. But the BAC meeting will sit late on Saturday evening, post which we will clearly know when it will be tabled, but it has been accepted. The motion has been accepted in the lower house and it will be brought in, we are being told, as early as the coming week. So one thing is for clear, what the government wanted, so that government is able to achieve it. Government did not want this motion to be brought in the upper house, and that was one of the major point of rift between the government and the former Vice President, and now the Lok Sabha chair accepting it makes it very clear that the government seems to be getting its way through. Back to you.
Indeed, Aishwarya, and that is a big breaking development coming in. My colleague Harsha also joins us on the broadcast from the Parliament. Harsha, what went along in that meeting and this critical juncture where Lok Sabha has finally accepted the impeachment motion of Justice Yashwant Verma?
But for all our viewers, first of all, it's very important to understand that how the process of impeachment was taken place. And if you remember, just before the Parliament monsoon session started, there was an all-party meeting, and it was conveyed by Kiren Rijiju only that all the government and the opposition party have agreed that the impeachment motion will be brought against Justice Verma in the Parliament. In Lok Sabha, we saw the process, that how each and every signatures were taken not only from the opposition party leaders, but from the ruling party MPs as well. The signatures were signed on a letter, and it was given to Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla. We saw a photo op also where Ravi Shankar Prasad, Nishikant Dubey and other government leaders along with opposition party leaders were also present. While if we saw in Rajya Sabha, no such rule was followed. The chair, former VP Jagdeep Dhankad from the chair only announced that I have received the letter of the impeachment motion against Yashwant Verma signed by opposition leaders. and it has been admitted. However, today only we got to know that it couldn't be admitted because there's a proper protocol, there's a proper rule which has to be followed. First of all, the signatures has to be shared with the Treasury bench. The Treasury bench has to be informed that yes, there's a letter which has been signed by the opposition and the ruling party MPs for the motion which is to be brought against a particular person, and then after it is given to the chair. In Lok Sabha, the rule was followed, while in Rajya Sabha it was not followed, and that is the reason why the former VP Jagdeep Dhankar from the chair, what he announced has been withdrawn. The motion has not been admitted in Rajya Sabha. We have been clearly told by the government sources. Now this clearly indicates that how this will go forward. So going forward, now we know that the probe panel committee which will be formed, this will be formed by Lok Sabha Speaker and the committee of the probe panel, which includes a CJI or a judge from High Court and the Supreme Court and one eminent jurist. So the probe panel will constitute of three people and not more than that. And also this probe panel will be constituted by Parliament itself and now by the Speaker. So we can say that the former VP Jagdeep Dhankar, what he announced from the chair on the impeachment motion against Justice Verma against Justice Yashwant Verma has not been admitted or approved in Rajya Sabha. It has been completely withdrawn from Rajya Sabha. Only in Lok Sabha this impeachment motion against Justice Verma will be brought. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Harsha, for those exclusive details. The Rajya Sabha motion of the opposition withdrawn. The government moves in Lok Sabha. Let's also listen into what Union Minister Kiran Rijiju said just moments ago after that all-party meeting vis-a-vis the impeachment and other critical points of contention between the government and the opposition.
जस्टिस यशवंत वर्मा का मुद्दे को लेकर के बहुत पहले से हमने प्रयास किया और हमने बहुत ही साफ शब्दों में कहा है कि ये सिर्फ सरकार का प्रयास नहीं बल्कि पूरे सदन का, पूरे मेंबर्स ऑफ पार्लियामेंट का एक मत है कि जुडिशरी में अगर करप्शन का मुद्दा है या कोई हाई कोर्ट सुप्रीम कोर्ट जज को हटाना है, ये पूरा संसद का दायित्व होता है, इसमें हम विभाजित नहीं होना चाहिए। इसलिए जैसे हमने शुरू में तय किया कि हम एकजुट इस मोशन को मूव करेंगे तो इसका प्रक्रिया बहुत जल्द हो जाएंगे। हमने मोशन दे दिया है, अब इसका जो प्रक्रिया है जैसे नियम है उसके हिसाब से बहुत जल्द शुरू हो जाएंगे।
Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, let me also tell you the details of the speakers that are expected to speak on the Operation Sindhu debate that is all set to be tabled in the Parliament on Monday. The big breaking development is that Union Home Minister Amit Shah, Union Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Union External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar, BJP MPs like Anurag Thakur and Nishikant Dubey, and along with Prime Minister Narendra Modi potentially intervening on the debate. That's the stacked lineup of BJP speakers of choice in the Operation Sindhu debate that is likely to take place on Monday, July the 28th. And that's a big lineup of the BJP ministers, from the Prime Minister to the top ministers in the core cabinet of the Cabinet Committee on Security, including the Home Minister, Defence Minister, the Foreign Minister, and top MPs of the BJP, and including the Prime Minister, perhaps even intervening in the Operation Sindhu debate that is likely to be tabled into the Parliament next week. That will also listen in to what Union Minister Rijiju had to say on the Operation Sindhu debate and the developments that have happened with the opposition after that all-party meeting today.
पहलगाम में आतंकवादी हमला और ऑपरेशन सिंदूर को लेकर के पार्लियामेंट में चर्चा होनी चाहिए। पार्लियामेंट शुरू होते ही हमने सरकार की ओर से साफ शब्दों में कहा कि हम चर्चा के लिए तैयार हैं। पहले दिन हमने बिजनेस लेके आए और साथ साथ में बिजनेस एडवाइजरी कमेटी में हमने बात रखी कि हम ऑपरेशन सिंदूर पर चर्चा करने के लिए तैयार हैं, लेकिन विपक्ष की ओर से पहले दिन से हंगामा शुरू कर दिया और नियम के विरुद्ध तकिया लेकर के, पोस्टर बैनर लेकर के संसद के अंदर और संसद के बाहर प्रदर्शन किया और सदन को चलने नहीं दिया।
And bringing you more details straight from the Parliament is my colleague Harsha. Harsha, after a week one washout in Lok Sabha, finally Operation Sindhu debate likely to happen on Monday. Right from the Prime Minister to the main ministers in the Cabinet Committee of Security expected to speak. What are the details that we're tracking on the BJP's lineup of speakers and what the potential debate on Operation Sindhu can entail to?
Pratash, we have a very important thing to see that the Pahalgam and Operation Sindhu is the foremost discussion and debate point which is going to start from the next week of the Parliament session. As we very well remember that opposition was continuously asking for the debate and discussion on the Pahalgam and Operation Sindhu and the all-party meeting, and after that the BAC which took place in the first week of the monsoon session on the first day, government accepted the demand of opposition party by stating that yes, they are ready for the discussion on Operation Sindhu, and thereby 16 hours were allotted in Lok Sabha for the discussion on Operation Sindhu. And now we have got to know that Rajnath Singh, Defence Minister himself, will be initiating the discussion on Operation Sindhu on Monday. The discussion will begin from 12 o'clock in the afternoon. The first 1 hour will be 0 hour, and after that there will be discussion on Operation Sindhu. Nishikant Dubey will be speaking, and also EM.S. Jaishankar will also be speaking on Operation Sindhu. Apart from this, there are going to be speakers like Anurag Thakur and Nishikant Dubey too, who will be speaking on Operation Sindhu. To tell you precisely, almost 90 to 120 minutes have been allotted to the ruling party to speak on this issue, and also Samajwadi Party, TDP, RJD, JDU, and other DMK and other parties will also be speaking on this issue. But the debate and discussion will be initiated by the government and especially by Defence Minister Rajnath Singh himself, because on the first day of the monsoon session only, Prime Minister clearly stated that there was 100% strike rate from the side of the government on Operation Sindhu after the terror act was seen in Pahalgam, and how the terrorist camps were completely destroyed by the government by Operation Sindhu.
Yes.
That was also highlighted by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So Monday we have been told by the government sources that in the BAC it has been decided opposition will cooperate. There will be the smooth business in the second week of the monsoon session. Monday likely there will be no ruckus and disruption from the side of the opposition party, and a debate and discussion on Operation Sindhu and Pahalgam will be initiated by the ruling party. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Harsha, for those details. After a brief statement from the steps of the Parliament on day one by the Prime Minister, perhaps a detailed 16-hour-long discussion on the cards on Monday in Lok Sabha on Operation Sindhu. That's the details coming in from the Parliament. Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, more breaking news update coming in from the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. This one concerning a soldier has lost his life due to a personnel mine explosion in the forward areas of the line of control in the Krishna Ghati sector. According to Army sources, an Indian Army Jawan has lost his life in the Krishna Ghati sector along the line of control in Poonch. 2 Army Jawans also have been injured in this explosion. This was an anti-personnel mine explosion in the forward area of the line of control in the Krishna Ghati sector, which has resulted to injuries to 3 Jawans, of which one is believed to have lost their life. This is a concerning update. My colleague Gursimran is joining us live on the broadcast with more details on the story. Gursimran, if you can hear me, what is the detail vis-a-vis that we are picking up in terms of the army sources informing us that one personnel has lost life in an anti-personnel mine explosion in the forward areas of LOC?
Yeah, this afternoon in the Krishna Ghati sector in the Salotri area in one of the forward posts of the Indian Army, an explosion has taken place. It was of an anti-personnel mine that has been put as part of the anti-infiltration grid. After during the regular patrol, the accidental step-in led to this explosion that has taken place, in which 3 Jawans and officials of the Indian Army personnel, they were injured, including a Naib Subedar, a Havaldar and an Agniveer who got injured. They were taken to the nearby medical facility, but unfortunately the Agniveer succumbed to the injuries, what we are picking up from the officials in the Indian Army. Now we are being told that the entire area is being searched as part of the protocols, but this is in the forward area, and there have been several incidents in the past as well where these accidental stepping up on the anti-personnel mines or the mines that have been put in place, that has taken place. Now the 2 Jawans officials that are injured, they are being treated at the local medical facility, but unfortunately one Agniveer of the Indian Army has come to the injuries in this explosion that has taken place in the forward area of Salotri in the Krishna Ghati sector along the line of control in the Poonch district. The senior officials and the police officials, they have also reached the spot, and the post-mortem and the rest of the medico-legal formalities are being performed by the Indian Army and the Jammu and Kashmir police.
Thank you so much, Gusimran, for tracking those details. Very concerning updates coming in from Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, where a soldier has lost his life due to a mine explosion. Meanwhile, moving on to more breaking news updates coming in from Rajasthan, where an upper primary government school in Jalabad district of Rajasthan, there a roof of a school building had collapsed. At least 8 students, unfortunately, have lost their lives in this incident, and several children are still reported to be trapped. Now, the latest breaking news update that we are tracking is that 5 teachers have been suspended. The decision was taken based on preliminary findings that indicate negligence, reflecting the department's strict stance on the matter. However, rescue teams along with local villagers are still tirelessly working to remove the rubble with JCBs and other machines there in the Jalabad district of Rajasthan, where 8 children unfortunately have lost their life. Very reactionary response coming in from the government. 5 teachers now suspended over suspected negligence and in the preliminary investigation of the Department of Education there. However, 8 children have lost their lives so far. That's the latest number, and the death toll is at the moment at 8, with more people fear to be trapped underneath the debris, including children, and rescue operations continue in this massive tragedy that has occurred in the Jalabad district of Rajasthan. Well, that's the update coming in from Rajasthan. Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow the nation gears up to celebrate the 26th anniversary of Kargil Vijay Diwas, and Republic reports from Ground Zero. Here are the details of the celebrations that are all set for Kargil Vijay Diwas. Ahead of the 26th Kargil Vijay Diwas, preparations are in full swing at Kargil War Memorial in Dras. The memorial, which stands as a tribute to valiant soldiers who laid down their lives in the line of duty in the 1999 Kargil War, is decked up for commemorative events. Families of army personnel who lost their life in the line of action during the Kargil War in 1999 gathered at the Lamochain viewpoint in Dras to pay tribute to the heroes of the war. A solemn and emotionally resonant event was held at Lamochain Viewpoint in Dras as part of the 26th Kargil Vijay Diwas commemorations. The ceremony began with hoisting of the national flag in presence of Major General Hitesh Bhalla, General Officer Commanding of the 14th Corps, who served as the chief guest. He honoured the next of kin of Kargil martyrs who have borne the ultimate sacrifice for the nation. A powerful display of modern warfare capabilities was also held at Dras. Indian Army marked organized events, various programs to honour the heroes of Operation Vijay during the Kargil Vijay Diwas celebrations in Dras. Also, ladies and gentlemen, more breaking news coming in now. Business tycoon Sanjay Kapoor's mother has alleged a foul play in the death of her son, and now she has moved in a legal attempt. Now, moving ahead with the Rani Kapoor, the mother of late Binera, has leveled severe charges of allegations and raised doubts about the circumstances surrounding her son's death in London. Now, Sanjay Kapoor had died in June, while further claimed that she was coerced into signing certain documents following her son's death. She has also demanded that the annual general meeting of the Sona Group, scheduled for today, be cancelled now that new director has to be appointed. Republic has also had an exclusive conversation with Sanjay Kapoor's mother, Rani Kapoor's lawyer. Listen in.
He, being the custodian of all of that and being the head of the family and the Sona Group today, writes this letter. Obviously, it was not easy for her to do it. She's grieving the loss of her son. And what she said in the letter is it is startling, right? She has said that she genuinely believes that this is not a case of a freak accident or just a natural death. And for her to come to this kind of a conclusion, where she wants this investigated threadbare and come to the truth of the matter, there are events which led up to the death and which have unfolded post the sad demise, which has got her to believe this. So I think first and foremost, we need to give that due regard to saying, who is it who's writing this? She has no monetary interest as such. She's really looking at ensuring that the family and the legacy that's been built by her late husband, carried forward by her late son now, is intact, remains within the family, and everyone's interests are protected. Within this letter, however, she has also said that immediately after the death, while in mourning, and as more details are coming out, she was made to sign papers in rather suspicious circumstances. She has also said that she's not being given access to documents, to information, with the companies involved, with the legacy. She's not even being allowed to access her bank accounts. In these circumstances, she's written to the board of directors and the shareholders, where she's requested that the meeting today, which is being held, as I understand, be deferred by at least 2 weeks. And that the company cooperate with her so that she can access all details and then present all the facts and make a reasoned decision as to how the family legacy should be taken forward. Who should be the representative of the family? It should not, according to her, be someone or anyone without her tacit consent. And that's what she's requested the board and the shareholders.
Right, that she was made to sign a lot of documents under duress. Can you please clarify what kind of documents, what was the nature of the documents?
So she, again, what she stated in the letter is she's not even been made aware of the contents of the documents. She's been asking, what have you made me sign? Send me copies of the same. She's written in the past to say, please don't act upon anything that is purportedly being signed by me. There has been no rebut on those things. So to ask today what are the documents she's been made to sign, she's herself unaware of the same. But what does seem to be the case, and again, there's, I think, a bit of an inkling in the letter as well, is that some of those letters may well have to do with how the family legacy is going to be taken forward, who the representative of the family is going to be, who comes onto the board, etc. Right? And that's how things seem to be unraveling currently.
Also suspect a larger conspiracy where they're trying to take over the Sona group by sidelining the family. And who do you think is to be benefited by this act?
Lots of people could be out there on this. As far as Mrs. Kapoor is concerned, she has chosen not to name anybody at this juncture. She doesn't want to speculate. This is not something that can be taken lightly or said lightly by her. She's a very senior lady who's belongs to one of the, country's strongest groups. So she's not going to make allegations without being very sure. But yes, obviously there are people. The shareholding of the family, the founders of the family, needs to be maintained, remains intact for the benefit of the family. That's a motive. And if there's any attempt by anybody to do otherwise, she would like to ensure that doesn't happen.
So, the name of daughter-in-law is coming up in reports. Can you please explain what are the charges, what are the direct charges which are levelling against the daughter-in-law in this case?
I don't think she has levelled any direct charge or named her daughter-in-law in this. From the copy of the letter that I have, it doesn't name her daughter-in-law at all. She has chosen not to name people. And, I think that needs to be respected at this stage.
Coming up next on Live and Breaking, Republic brings you special coverage live from Dras in Ladakh, where the celebrations for the Kargil Vijay Diwas are underway. Also coming up next, major crackdown on soft porn content by the government. 25 OTT apps banned. What are the details? Only on Republic. Stay tuned.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी
महफिल बनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
इतनी रिस्क लेने की क्या जरूरत है? Why don't you play safe, Anupam Kher?
I would have not reached there if I had played safe. I would have not survived in this profession if I had played safe. I did not play safe in my first film. That's the way my life is. What is the idea of walking on a path which is not full of ditches, speed breakers, problems? Because when I reach the destination, I should look back and say, wow, क्या मुश्किलों से गुजर के मैं यहाँ तक पहुँचा हूँ, इसलिए मैंने सर्वाइव किया ये 40 साल। आजकल बहुत सारे यंग लोग बोलते हैं दैट इज द वे आई एम। मैं तो शायद 95 साल की उम्र में भी नहीं बोल पाऊंगा कि दैट इज द वे आई एम, बिकॉज़ द मोमेंट दैट इज द वे आई एम, दैट मींस योर ग्रोथ इज नॉट देयर।
इस साल का जो प्रॉफिट है इंटरेस्ट पे डाल देंगे, हर महीने ब्याज का पैसा आता रहेगा।
अगर रेगुलर इनकम ही चाहिए तो आप वो पैसे फिक्स्ड इनकम फंड्स में डाल दो।
वो क्या होता है?
फिक्स्ड इनकम म्यूचुअल फंड्स चुने हुए ब्याज देने वाली कंपनी बॉन्ड्स, गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड्स और मनी मार्केट में इन्वेस्ट करते हैं। सिस्टमैटिक विथड्रॉल प्लान से आपको ऑन द डॉट फिक्स्ड अमाउंट भी आता रहेगा।
म्यूचुअल फंड में फिक्स्ड इनकम वाली बात सही है।
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Impeachment motion against Justice Verma admitted in Lok Sabha.
पार्लियामेंट शुरू होते ही हमने सरकार की ओर से साफ शब्दों में कहा कि हम चर्चा के लिए तैयार हैं। बिजनेस एडवाइजरी कमेटी में हमने बात रखी कि हम ऑपरेशन सिंदूर पर चर्चा करने के लिए तैयार हैं।
Union Minister Kiran Rijiju sets the record straight, says government ready to debate on Operation Sindoor, opposition must let the parliament function. Ministry of Defence inks 2,000 crore contract with BEL for air defence fire control radars for the Indian Army.
इसको लेकर क्या कहें? मैच भारत पाकिस्तान के इस स्थिति में होना चाहिए। ऐसा इस स्थिति में होना चाहिए मैच।
Republic launches mega campaign to boycott India-Pakistan Asia Cup clash. Nation says terror and cricket cannot go hand in hand. Centre cracks down on OTT soft porn in a major cleanup. Government bans 25 OTT websites and apps. Sanjay Kapoor's mother questions circumstances of her son's death, alleges coercion, seeks meeting deferment. Prime Minister Modi receives grand ceremonial welcome in Maldives, key bilateral schedule with President Muizu. Today, Kargil Vijay Diwas celebration set to begin today. Heroes of Operation Vijay to be honoured. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Live and Breaking with me, Krutat Patnaik, at 4:30 p.m. this Friday evening. Our top story remains the government in a massive hammer dropped on obscene content on OTT platforms has banned 25 applications, including Ulu, Alt, Desi Flix, Big Shots and others, citing concerns over streaming of obscene and sexually explicit material. This is the biggest crackdown by the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting that is directly blocking apps and websites showcasing obscene content. More reactions coming in from the Parliament on this massive move of the government. Let's listen into those reactions first.
देखिए, सरकार का निर्णय संस्कृति को लेके, भारत को लेके ज़रूरी था। जहाँ पे ऐसे OTT जो लाइसेंस्ड हैं, अनलाइसेंस्ड हैं, वो सॉफ्ट पॉर्न बना रहे हैं या गलत फिल्में बना रहे हैं या गलत फिल्मों को प्रदर्शित कर रहे हैं, उस पर ये सरकार ने निर्णय लिया है। और ये पूरे देश की जनता का एक संदेशा था हमेशा सरकार को कि सरकार, और वो ट्वीट पे, एक्स के माध्यम से बता रहे थे, तो निर्णय स्वागत योग्य है। और ये सोच समझ के आप एंटरटेनमेंट पेश करें, लेकिन एंटरटेनमेंट की एक परिभाषा, एक उसकी एक लक्ष्मण रेखा होती है, और उस पर ही निर्णय है। और इससे चीज़ें संतुलित होंगी। लोग एंटरटेनमेंट में अपनी मर्यादाओं को, परिवार को, भारत की संस्कृति को, भारत के विचारधाराओं को याद रख के बनाएंगे।
कि जो खासकर जिस तरह से जो ऐप जो इलीगल हैं, उनके प्रति, उनके अगेंस्ट जो ये स्टेप लिया गया है, इट इज़ अप्रिशिएटेड।
तो आपके सवाल में तो आपका इधर कंटेंट देखने लायक नहीं है, जो आप भैया को परिवार के साथ बैठकर आप नहीं देख सकते हैं, जो शर्मनाक है, जिसकी अश्लील भाषा है, प्रेजेंटेशन में गंदगी है, ऐसी भाषा को या शब्दों का चयन जिनका सराहनीय नहीं है, इनको अगर बैन किया गया तो मैं समझता हूँ ये बहुत प्रशंसनीय है। इसकी सराहना करते हैं। अगर आपको याद हो तो सबसे पहले जो पिछली बार मैं IT और इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी कमेटी में था, तो सबसे पहले इसको बैन करने के लिए, रोकने के लिए, प्रतिबंध लगाने के लिए मैंने ही आवाज़ उठाई थी और मैंने काफ़ी ज़ोर शोर से आवाज़ उठाई थी। आज मुझे खुशी है ये जो है हम उसको नतीजे पर पहुंचते हुए देख रहे हैं। अच्छा है, ये बहुत बढ़िया हुआ है। ये क्या मतलब है, आप अपने माँ बहन के साथ बैठे हुए हैं, आप वहाँ परिवार के साथ बैठे हुए हैं और ऐसी वल्गर कंटेंट से, वल्गर अश्लील भाषा का प्रयोग उसमें करते रहे, ये फ्रीडम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन के नाम पे सरासर बहुत।
Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, more breaking news update coming in from the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, where the nation is gearing up to commemorate the 26th anniversary of Kargil Vijay Diwas. These are the lands on which our bravehearts fought a war in 1999 and defeated Pakistan by pushing back their armed forces that had transgressed on India's territorial sovereignty. These are visuals coming in from earlier today, where all the celebrations are being decked up as Indian armed forces get ready to salute to their heroes one more time on the 26th anniversary of Kargil Vijay Diwas tomorrow. Republic is the only network reporting live from Ground Zero in Dras. I'll be shortly joined by my colleague reporting live from Lamochen in Kargil, where the festivities and the commemoration of the 26th Kargil Vijay Diwas are underway with extreme respect for our soldiers who have laid down their lives protecting their motherland and the sacrifices that they had to pay for our behalf to protect our land and territorial sovereignty. It is also an important day to mark the victory of India in a major war against Pakistan. Kargil Vijay Diwas continues to remain etched in the memory of every Indian, and how our brave soldiers braved the peaks of the Himalayas and the valleys together to defend every inch of India's land. There's also a lot of breaking news updates and reports that Republic is bringing you live from Kargil. Let's take a look at what's the mood on Ground Zero.
As India commemorates Kargil Vijay Diwas, the rugged terrains of Dras, once a battleground of the 1999 Kargil War, are undergoing remarkable transformation. Along the Srinagar-Leh highway, a corridor that bore witness to the bravery of Indian soldiers, a vibrant infrastructural boom is reshaping the region's landscape. Extensive road widening and leveling projects are carving smoother, safer paths through towering Himalayas.
Government of India is pushing infrastructural development in the border belt in Jammu and Kashmir, and now this Ladakh has turned a UT with the result. Central funds have also reached, which have been a boost for the infrastructural development. As my Vijay Firdos is showing you the visuals of the construction, this is one of the Zojila tunnels out where you see the construction work is going on, and once this tunnel is completed, it will connect Gagangir, Sonmarg's Gagangir with Dras, and it is going to be only 40 minutes journey, which earlier would take hours. And the kind of telecommunication, the towers that has been established, that tells you that yes, you are connected with your loved ones, because earlier the connection was not there, the telecommunication was not there, the roads were not there, the tunnels, but now you see everything is there when we talk about the infrastructural push.
Modern tunnels are reducing travel time and enhancing connectivity, ensuring that the harsh winters no longer isolate Dras and its surrounding areas. Checkpoints and surveillance systems have been bolstered, offering safety to residents and tourists. In an exclusive conversation with Republic, Barkat Ali Nizami, who served during the Kargil War as the Naib Tehsildar of Dras, recounted harrowing details. He said that the Dras, once coldest inhabited region, became a fiery battleground.
13 मई को मेरी पोस्टिंग यहाँ हो गई और 13 मई को यहाँ से क्रॉस फायरिंग हो गई पाकिस्तान की तरफ से। ये जो सामने आपको पहाड़ नज़र आता है, ये तोलोलिंग से यहाँ से फायरिंग हो गई, टाइगर हिल से फायरिंग हो गई। हमारी ड्यूटी यहाँ द्रास में थी, नीचे ये जो द्रास आपको नज़र आ रहा है, यहाँ मेरी ड्यूटी थी। इमीडिएटली हमें फिर लोगों को बचाने के लिए सेफर प्लेसेस में लेना पड़ा मुझे यहाँ से। न कोई रात थी, न दिन था शेलिंग का, न सुबह थी, न शाम था। बस क्या कहूँ आपको, ऐसी शेलिंग खैर हमने अपनी लाइफ में तो नहीं देखी, और खुदा ना दिखाए किसी को भी यहाँ जान का ख़तरा हो, तो ये बड़ी कोई आसान चीज़ नहीं थी। कम से कम 10,000 गोले इस द्रास में गिरे होंगे। मैं सिर्फ
जहाँ बैठे
द्रास मीन्स कि आपको मुश्कू मटाइन से लेकर खरबू तक ये सारा एरिया जो है, ये कम से कम कोई 30 किलोमीटर का एरिया है लंबाई में, तो इसमें कम से कम 10,000 गोले पाकिस्तान के गिरे।
Mohammad Yusuf Lone recounted chilling episode from the war. When the army captured Tooling, they uncovered a temporary shelter where they discovered a man who identified himself as Major Anwar of Pakistan Army.
वो जो हरा सा घास है, लाल की पहाड़ी के साथ ऊपर घास है, वहाँ से रास्ता बना हुआ था इस जम्बड़ वाली पहाड़ी में। इस पहाड़ी में जो है वजन लेके 2 आदमी जा रहे थे। आधा घंटे के बाद फिर 2 आदमी जा रहे हैं। फिर उसने बोला यार मैंने पता क्या कल पेट्रोलिंग हेलीकॉप्टर ने करके आई, बोलते हैं झूठ है। दूसरे दिन खबर मिली जी, फौज आई नीचे बियम्बर में आके जो बियम्बर वालों से सिगरेट लेके चले गए, मैगी लेके गए।
अच्छा, ये पाकिस्तान के लोग थे।
The Kargil War was not just a military operation, It was a testament to the unwavering spirit of our armed forces.
Well, that's the detailed report on Ground Zero in Kargil. I'm also being joined on this broadcast by my colleagues Zeenat and Rakshita from Ladakh and Dras respectively. Coming to you, Rakshita, first, where you are in Ladakh at the moment. What's the moment like right now as we are just hours away from commemorating the 26th Kargil Vijay Diwas?
Well, the rehearsals have already begun. I don't know if you can hear it in the background. You can hear the band, and this is the war memorial. If you can just pan this camera, and you can see the beautiful tricolor every day. And this time, of course, it's even more special because we're going to have the special tribute that will be paid in just a while from now. We see the members of the Indian Army and all the representatives. They're all, they're preparing for the event in just a while from now. There's going to be a multi-faith prayer. There are going to be dignitaries, special guests, officers who will be part of this. There will be, of course, special show over here as well, paying tribute to our martyrs. And as we see that the band is still rehearsing for their performance, there will be a classical musical performance just like last year as well. And there will be, of course, important projects that will be launched, like a QR-based app that will be telling the stories, audio stories of our Jawans, because these are stories, that needs to be told time and again, especially in times like these, today's times when we are still fighting the enemy. We're fighting the same enemy that we fought 26 years back. We conquered them right then, and we are conquering them now. And of course, we will be showing, we will be getting the reactions of the martyrs' families as well. We spoke to some of them in the afternoon also, and the war veterans who still remember those times. And of course, they spoke of what they said. Their story speaks volumes about the valor and the unique spirit of our Jawans, right from, throughout the ranks. All our Jawans, they've made selfless contributions to this Kargil war. And this is a memorial for the same. And every year, it's a commemoration. We celebrate the spirit, and we do not forget the sacrifices that they have made and how they have shown. It was a very difficult battle. We have to understand, given the terrain, given those peaks, the high altitude, and the kind of warfare that was present back then. There were no drones. There was less of technology that was being used, and despite that, we conquered we conquered the enemy, and we continue to do so now in modern times with modern warfare. Having said that, yes, these are celebrations that are going on for 48 hours. Today is also a very, very special evening, and tomorrow morning also there is going to be a very, very special event. Chief guest will be the Chief of Defence Staff, General Anil Chauhan, who will be gracing the event. And of course, speaking about the Kargil war, and of course there will be also the highlights will be presented about how India is pushing for Atmanirbharta in defense, about the new age weapons that our military forces, our armed forces are in possession of, and how they, of course, enrich our armor. We also have my colleague Zeenat, who is also joining us from Dras and Kargil. Zeenat, we have been covering several aspects of this year's commemoration of the Kargil Diwas. And it is very interesting today when we talk about Operation Sindhu. We've covered Operation Sindhu as well. But it's very important, Zeenat, to understand the challenges back then and to learn the lessons from 1999, and also salute the supreme sacrifice that has been made by our Jawans during Operation Vijay. One of the stories that will always remain throughout the years. For 26 years it has been remembered, and for the coming generations also it remains very much important and significant.
Rakshita, you have picked up a point that yes, after this Kargil war, things have definitely changed in the Kargil, Batalek, Dras, Mashku sector. I'm reporting from the Kargil, and this is one of the important sectors where this battle was fought. This was one of the main highways. If my Vijay can show you that this is the highway which Pakistan intruders and the Pakistan military, Pakistan terrorists tried to disrupt, but
Now you see everything has been fortified, and also we are seeing an infrastructure boom. In fact, had this Kargil not happened, there wouldn't have been a push towards the border development. The border development has taken a front seat. Now it has become a driven force for the government of India, where earlier the post would go vacant during the winter months when the temperature would turn sub-zero, but now those posts are being monitored 24 into 7. There is a technology that monitors them, and also now the posts are not left vacant because Pakistan had taken an advantage of those posts that were left vacant, and they have taken over, and also they were maintaining the heights, which was one of the important and a big challenge for the Indian Army who were posted here to mobilize their troops, to mobilize their equipment, the logistics and everything. Even the enemy was keeping an eye on everything. But now we see that not only the border infrastructure development has changed, the Kargil, Dras, Batalik, definitely the one who has covered the Kargil War and the one who is coming now, and now definitely such persons do see the change on ground, because we see the empowerment, local level empowerment has also been made by the Indian Army through different ways. And definitely the kind of infrastructure boost that Indian Army has got as far as the forward post is concerned, forward locations are concerned, the kind of arms and ammunition, the weapon technology, even the kind of drones, as we have today also witnessed one of the drone shows that tells you that despite the foot soldiers on the ground or on these peaks, their surveillance is there, and the projects that were taken up by the Indian Army, by the defense, that have given a push to Made in India, which is one of the initiative that was launched by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. As far as the Kargil battle is concerned, as you are speaking from the foothill at where this solo link at the foothill of this war memorial is located, that was one of the peaks which was captured, and then the turning point for the India to show their diplomatic win was the Tiger Hill, where which was recaptured by Captain Batra, who also recaptured 4785, where the slogan was Dil Mange More. And from Dras to Kargil to Batalik sector, this has witnessed the n number of shells. The place where from I am reporting every day around 80 to 100 mortar shells this place has witnessed. So you imagine the kind of forces that have witnessed by the then, because the life in Kargil, the locals were completely disturbed, they were distracted, and they were also dislocated. In fact, the economy of the Ladakh, which is usually depend on the agriculture sector, got completely disturbed. But yes, people and also